Right, good morning, good afternoon or good evening depending on whenever you are listening to this video. Today's video, as part of our coronavirus response, giving you some of your videos, some of your RE teaching at home, is going to be about church services. My name is Tony, I am the Children and Families worker at St Peter's Church in Wellesbourne. Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you like it. If you have any comments, questions, do put them in the comments link down below or send me an email and I will get back to you. If you have any requests about something that you would like to find out, a question you would like answered, then do send that to me and I'll see if I can make a video for that as well. Now, when I started thinking about church services, one of the first things I found when I googled some of the images that I was putting into this presentation was some of the Minecraft churches. My kids like Minecraft, so I thought I'd share with you some of the pictures. I think that's York Minster. And then there's a few of these Notre Dame. And I don't know if you've played Minecraft, but that takes a very long time. Very long time. Not sure which church that is, but there's no one there. And here, this is Notre Dame again. I think that might also be Notre Dame. And a different, I'm not sure that's a specific church there, but a different one there. So let's have a bit of a think about what is church? And what types of service do churches do? Well, one of the most common things that we do in church is Holy Communion. It's also called the Lord's Supper or the Eucharist. And what we do is we have bread, which is in this plate here called the pattern, and the wine, which goes in the chalice. And the priest blesses these and we give them out. And that reminds us of Jesus dying on the cross, of his body, and of his blood. Sometimes we have choir services, choral services they're called. This is a picture of choral evensong from one of the cathedrals. Sometimes we have baptism services. This is the baptism of a baby, which we call christening. And then there's confirmation services, where if you were christened as a baby, when you're old enough to decide to be a Christian for yourself, you confirm that. And the bishop comes along, he makes the sign of the cross, and he puts his hand on your head and prays for you. And I've done another video about baptism as well. Marriage service is, of course, one of the most important things we do in the Church of England as well, and there are many very beautiful buildings, you can see that beautiful stained glass there, that make really lovely settings for people to get married in. And then maybe this one you might not have heard of unless you know somebody who works in the church. This is called ordination. This is actually a Roman Catholic church. And the ordination means God takes somebody and sets them aside for a special task. In this case, deacons are being ordained to work in the church, and you'd do the same if you were making a priest. Then, skip on, there we go. And then we also have the ordination of bishops. This is the Archbishop of Canterbury. He's kind of the guy in charge of the whole of the Church of England and the whole of the Anglican Church worldwide, called Justin Welby, and he's being ordained at Canterbury Cathedral as the Archbishop of Canterbury. Another important service that we're doing at the moment and always, but we have more at this time because of the problem with coronavirus, of course, is funerals. And this is where we mark that somebody has died, somebody has passed away, and we celebrate their life. A funeral is a celebration of life, but it's also a chance to say goodbye, and an important part of saying goodbye to people. And that's quite difficult at the moment because we can't meet together, but we can remember those people, and we will be having services in the future. There are, of course, increasing new ways of doing church. I thought I'd post this picture of you. It probably doesn't look like any church you've seen before, but that is a church. And in the modern era, there's lots of experimentation with how we do church. And of course, you can go to a cathedral, a very ancient building, have this wonderful, powerful example of worshipping God in a way that people have for thousands of years. And that's amazing. But there are also some really interesting new ways. We've been to something called Soul Survivor. It's about 10,000 teenagers together in a tent, lots of really lively, exciting music. You camp overnight and it's really great fun. That's just stopped running last year, but there's loads of things like it. There's new wine, there's Spring Harvest where you go away for a period of time and you stay with those people, and the worship is guitars and drums and loud and lively and modern, and it's very different to some of the things we get in church. There's all age services where the service is designed so that people of all sorts of different ages can enjoy that service. There's Taizé, which is basically a quiet service where we sit quite still. We do a lot of time praying. You may listen to some very sort of spiritual and relaxing music, and you can see here lots of candles have been lit, bit of a fire hazard there. They've got a fire bucket or two. And some churches run cafe style worship, which we do at St. Peter's. It's called Cafe Connections, where you can take your breakfast and you can sit and have your drink or a bit of food, and then the service starts. And a lot of churches are doing that, and actually in the early church people met together in their homes and they shared food with each other. Likewise, there's Messy Church, which is based around arts and crafts and activities, and is a very hands-on way of doing church and learning about God for all the family to come along. And we do this at St. Peter's Church, Wellesbourne as well. And then there's house churches, home groups, fellowship groups. They have lots of different names, but like with the very, very early church, people meeting in their homes to discuss Christianity, to talk about things, to pray for one another, to look after each other. And you can see these guys here have their guitars, they're playing a bit of music together as part of that as well. And I thought I'd go back to just showing you some couple of the other Minecraft churches I found. I've had a bit of a go on Minecraft, but I'm not sure I could do something quite as good as this. I think this is actually the church from Springfield in The Simpsons, and I think that's Lichfield Cathedral, but I could be wrong. So some questions for you to end with today. What is it that goes into a church service? If you could have a think back to when you've been to church, what are the different parts and why are they there? And if you had to put together a service, what do you think are the things that have to be in it for it to be a service? And what are the things that you could choose whether they're there or not? As an activity, perhaps you could have a go at making a church. It could look a bit like this one, but you could make it out of any of these different ways. We've seen some that have been made out of shoeboxes or with card, clay, papier-mâché. Maybe you could have a go at Minecraft if you have Minecraft. I think my kids will be having a go at that one. Or you could draw or paint a church, but why don't you have a go and see if you could make a church? And there are some really interesting churches nowadays. They come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes and styles. So have a little look at that and the different ways of doing and being